we're gonna barely see each other. You know what I mean? Like just barely hang out with each other. You know what I mean? And catch each other here and there. And I said, but I guess there's a good and bad to that. You know what I mean? There's a good thing because we're growing up. You know what I mean? We're getting better at life. You know. Sure enough, like 2 weeks later, he's like, "Hey man, I got in," and I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Like I totally forgot what the fuck scenario had even taken place. You know. He says, "I got into that school, man," and I go, "The school?" He goes, "Yeah, for the haircutting." And I said, "No shit." He goes, "Yeah." So he's telling me his schedule and stuff, so we talk about it and stuff, you know. Lo and behold, man, like what, 9 months later? 9 months later, you get your license.
Yep,
graduated. You want to talk about your graduation?
I graduate, okay? The next day I'm supposed to go in and put in 8 hours, and then that's it, completion. I get my certificate, then I get to go do this, where I have to take this test for licensing purposes. So I finish and I go out and I party. I'm like, wow, this is cool. So I get drunk. I come over here to Marin's. The Marin's tells me, don't go home. Just stay here, dude. Don't worry about it. Just wake up in the morning and then leave the class. Nah, Marin, I got it under control. No, it's okay, Marin. I'm going to go home. I'm going to go to sleep on my bed. All right, cool, Romeo. Hey, see you tomorrow. All right, cool. I leave. Guess who's behind me? Whoop, whoop, whoop. Man, I got popped for a DUI. And the blood alcohol content was 0.28. So you could just imagine how good I was feeling. And
but that wasn't your first DUI.
No.
Oh, shit.
I'm well versed in the DUI situations. So the night before, they booked me, and then they released me in the morning. And at that time, I was dating some female from the school. I call her from jail. I have the numbers on my hand, and I get to work, to school, and I put in my 8 hours, and they give me the certificate of completion, and I walk away with numbers on my hand. It was just, I don't know, but that's the kind of person I am, man. If I'm gonna start something, I have to finish it no matter what. Right. So I ended up finishing that whole situation, and then I started cutting hair, and
well, then no, wait a minute. There's more to that story, man. He finishes the schooling, and then there's another guy there who was graduating too, and so we all go to Rocky's Pizzeria.
Oh man!
And they're drinking and I'm hanging out and they're eating pizzas and stuff, right? And then said lady friend shows up, and he's like, and this is one of the many times that I did this. He says, "Hey Marin, can you take my car for me? And then when I call you, just come pick me up." And I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever, So he stays there with the girl. I go home, and then like at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, he calls me. He says, "Hey, Marin, I'm over here at Indian Hill." He names the motel where he's at, or hotel, whatever the fuck it was. And he says, "Can you come pick me up?" And I go, "Yeah, okay." So I go out there and pick him up. So I knock on the door. He tells me like 402 or some shit, man, right? So then he opens the fucking door, and he's got a fucking pair of panties on his fucking head. And she's under the covers, and she's got the blanket pulled up to her, like that. And he's like, hey, what's up, Marin? Hey, you want to fuck her? And I'm like, nah, I'm cool, dude, I'm cool. You sure, man? Yeah. All right, hey, I think watch you. And he takes the panties off his head. He tosses them towards, come on, let's go. So that was one of the many adventures that I had. Then there was the Valentine Massacre.
Oh man.
Of 2008. Where I got pulled over for that too. That's when you left your car down the street with the windows open.
Yeah.
With space boots.
Space boots. By the way, where are you, space boots? Ignition.
Well, yeah, there was. Well, we met in a 12-step program.
Yep.
In 2001. We both had our ups and downs.
Hey.
Yeah, but I think you're. I don't want to say. I think you've had a more. I don't know how to put it. Explicit love affair with the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because you admittedly say that you've had your troubles with it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So like, where do you stand now on it? Like, what's your? Because we were talking earlier about this.
Well, it's a constant battle. If anybody ever has experienced anything close to alcoholism, you guys know what I'm talking about. It's a constant battle with the mind. I have a love romance with it, It's been there for me. It's my friend. There's been a couple times where I wanted to do damage to myself, and it's the only thing that kept me sane. So as crazy as that sounds, that's my story with the battle with alcohol. I'm still battling it till today, And I don't know if the battle will go on till I die, but I try to stay functioning is what it is. And there's such thing as a functioning alcoholic. And
sure.
you know, if you guys out there know a functioning alcoholic, I mean, they keep the money on the food on the table. They keep you fed, clothed, and you know their situation is just their romance with the alcohol. You know? So.
And I've met a few guys in the rooms like that. They went like 25, 27 years, man.
Yeah.
And they were tool and die makers. One was for the Los Angeles Times back in the days.
That's right. Huh?
He worked on the press.
And he would drink on the job. I remember he was telling me,
20 some fucking years, man, and just be
kept
drunk
food on the table
all fucking day. And functioning alcohol, just you know what I mean. No one had a clue. I was like, wow. Yeah. And you have a somewhat success financially. I mean, you're not hurting or nothing. You know what I mean? So you know, there's that whole.
But see, people think that an alcoholic is a person that's on the side of the road, you know, begging for change and stuff like that.
Right.
And if you look at the wide variety of alcoholics, they're out there. They're your physicians. They're your cops. They're your firemen. Things of that nature.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, so
I don't know. I think if you read the big book and you go to the rooms, that's the old school mentality of what an alcoholic is.
Right.
I think as civilization modernizes more and more,
For sure.
I think more people are aware. Like kids know their parents are alcoholic.
Right.
You know, you know that dad does this because he drinks too much.
Yeah.
And that's becoming more, unfortunately, accepted. One of the biggest problems with society today is, and a lot of children are born out of that situation, that they're drinking, they're not thinking, and so dad's not gonna fucking wear a raincoat, and you know, out comes a fucking kid into a fucked up situation.
Right.
Well, it also is unfortunate that now they've sped up the game, so the kids are coming into Alcoholics Anonymous a lot earlier.
Fuck yeah.
You know, now they're doing Epsom salt.
Yeah. Yeah, no, bath salt. So the bath
Epsom salt. Yeah. So I mean, it's just. These kids nowadays are getting into the rooms faster.
And I was talking about that the other day with my nephew, dropping what's that fucking ecstasy, smoking this fucking chemically enhanced fucking marijuana. Yeah. He's like, yeah, check this shit out. This is fucking train wreck, or this is all these crazy fucking names, right? I'm like, dude, whatever happened? I said, what's the simplest fucking weed? Like, what's the simplest? And he goes, simple. There's nothing simple. It's just, you know. And I said, like, what's like, okay, like when it comes to like the money wise, and he goes, well, you probably get Kush, and for $70 they'll give you a fucking license, and you can walk. I can walk right here. I can walk within a 3-mile radius, and I can name 4 fucking shops. And a cop stops me. He says, "Oh, you have marijuana on?" Yeah, but look, I have a fucking license to smoke it. And yet in L.A., was it last week? They fucking closed. They closed down a bunch of fucking shops. So you know, there's a give and take to that whole thing. But again, the extremes that I have come from, like when I was growing up, I think I was in my 20s maybe, when X Games first hit, somewhere in there, I think somewhere around there. Up until this point, and you see the whole X Games factor, you know what I mean? And we're just, the further we get into life, man, the crazier these motherfuckers get, man. And there's always going to be someone out there who's going to try to top what you do. I never thought I'd see somebody pull off a double backflip on a fucking motorcycle. 2 fucking backflips on a fucking motorcycle? What's next? Someone's going to find it. Someone's going to take that shit to the next fucking level.
Someone's going to go and eat somebody's face off fucking on
in Miami. Yeah. But, you know, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, there's such an... Things have been taken... People try to push things to the fucking limit, and there's a goodness behind that. You know what I mean? Because you want to push yourself.
Civilization modernizes, and it doesn't stop with adapt. Drugs and alcohol.
Right, we adapt. Right. Oh yeah, for sure. But we adapt.
What's amazing to you and me, but not so amazing to the generation below us, is the tolerance doesn't modernize. You know, the brain chemistry is the same, you know, as it was in the 60s and the 70s. But the potency just keeps getting higher and higher.
Yeah, and fuck, man. It's like I said, you know what? He'll get the pot, you know, and I'll just smell the and I go, fuck, I can only imagine what this shit would do to my fucking brain if that was one of my I can't think of the fucking name. That's what I do whenever I was coming down off of dope and I didn't have
sober up.
I'd fucking I'd smoke pot to sober up. But and again, if my son saw me in that state, I think it would be it would put him in such a spiral, you know? I don't think I could handle that. That's my fear too, because he's going. This year he's going to be 13.
Wow.
This Romeo was there when he was just
a baby.
Fuck, man.
Knee high to a grasshopper.
Yeah. He's literally watched him grow. He's literally from the time he was fucking 1 year old up until now. That's one of my biggest fears, is that he's already in junior high now. This is his second year in junior high. He's going into 7th grade. I was a good kid until I was 13 too. And then the fucking wheels just fell off the bus. And I just fucking went balls out in like the totally opposite direction. So he has a good head on his shoulders, but I still have those fears, you know? I still have those fears that he's gonna fucking, you know, go out there and just do something stupid, you know?
Well, he's going to do that.
Well, yeah, but I'm just hoping that it's not... I've taught him well enough, which I think I have, to where he's not going to be influenced by...
It's better to have a frame of reference in your mind than to just go out and experiment and try to find, you know...
Well, you heard him the other day when I'm going to call them the lost tapes. The lost tapes of episode 14.
Yeah.
Are you tweaking?
He was funny.
He was on
the ball, man.
He was on when, dude, we were doing these little improv games, man. Oh my god, dude, he was on it. He was on it, dude. He was on it. He was good, man. Getting back to Romeo's, right now you're working where?
All right, the place that I'm working at is called The Spot. It's off of Foothill and Citrus.
That's a shameless
barbershop. Yeah, I know. Had to do it. So come see me if you need a good haircut, man. I get down with it. You
don't have to give me specific numbers, but you do okay.
Yeah.
You do okay. You make a decent living at what you're doing.
Yeah.
And there's I can only imagine, because I've done not to say it's the same thing, but I've worked with my hands for most of my life. I don't know if you're breaking a sweat or not, but the whole hand aspects, do you feel that in your hands? Do you feel every now and then do you feel the carpal tunnel, or do you just
not yet? I'm still young in the game, but you know, it is a machine. And it is vibrating in your hand the whole time. So, and that's the only way you're going to be able to cut. It's not like technology ain't to where, you know, you can just press a button and get a haircut.
You're right.
So, yeah.
Like the sucking cut?
Yeah. The what?
The sucking cut? You haven't seen that?
Nuh-uh. Oh, the Floby.
The Floby, yeah.
The Floby, yeah.
No, dude, it's from fucking Wayne's World.
80s.
The sucking cut. Where they showed it fucking up Gar's hair.
Oh, my hair. It's hurting my hair.
That's the Floby.
Yeah.
You attach it to the damn vacuum and
That's funny.
But no, yeah, so that aspect is, you know, I'm not looking forward to it, but see, you got to be smart in the game, man. I have a little bit of money put away, and in due time, I'll probably own my own, and then I'll stop cutting. You know?
Well,
when I said sucking cut, you should have seen the look on Romeo's face. Hey, it's not that kind of place, man.
Yeah. No, but you have a good head on your shoulders. You know what I mean? And I know that because I've known you for many years, and we've both seen each other go through good times and through bad times. You know what I mean? I've seen it. You know what I mean? So that's what. And we were talking about that this morning. You know what I mean? About the whole physical aspect and the whole how the alcohol takes hold of your physical being. You know, and we were talking about that this morning about how
age.
Yeah.
Age and the food that America is giving us, and of course the alcohol will take a toll on your body, especially when you get up there in years. It's unfortunate. I feel bad for the generation right below us. They're not going to live to be 80, touching 90. No way. The new generation is going to live to be 50. 50, they're going to be tapping out because of all the damn preservatives and everything. You know, like now they have these drinks where you read the back label, and you know how it's supposed to say 160 grams of whatever? It just has a damn, like a fucking crucifix right there on the total amount, you know? So you know that there's something wrong when it has a crucifix. You know, if you read the back of the can of a Monster, everyone, if you guys can, look at the back can of a Monster. It's just a crucifix on all one side. So, I don't know, man. They're doing something out there. And these kids are taking those down like 2-3 a day.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, work on the pancreas and all that good stuff. So.
Well, too, they had that, what's that, Four Locos?
Oh, man.
Is that still out? I heard they banned it for a while, no?
Yeah,
and then they brought
it back with more sugar.
But this shit's like, it's like a Red Bull with alcohol.
Yep.
You know? And two, when you go to the clubs, they're drinking like Red Bull with vodka or Red Bull with some other, you know what I mean, with other. But it's all about they want to go longer and faster. And we talked about this about maybe